Justin Fairfax joining us now. We're live. We're outside of the Lowe's Hotel. Justin is a candidate for Lieutenant Governor on the Democratic side. Right now, he's the only official person in the race. Eileen Filler-Corn expected to run, delegate from Northern Virginia. Also, Gene Rossi expected to run. He's a U.S. attorney in Northern Virginia. We're predicting early Fairfax is going to be the nominee. Justin, great to have you with us.
John, it's great to be here, and it's wonderful to see you as always. You're one of my favorite folks.
Well, thank you so much. Now, I love your energy, Justin. That's
I appreciate
why I love
you.
having
Vice
you on.
versa. Thank you.
You're just everywhere.
Thank you.
Tell me about this race for Lieutenant Governor and what you think of the whole thing.
Yeah, well, John, it's been a wonderful race thus far, as you mentioned. At this point, the only candidate for Lieutenant Governor on the Democratic side, and we've been out now almost 3 months. And it's gone tremendously well. We've gotten so much support from all around the Commonwealth of Virginia, and also, frankly, from around the country. We have so many people who are focused on this race, who understand that we're bringing an incredible message, a lot of positivity to the race, and we've seen a wonderful response even in the early stages. So we feel very good about it. As you know, when I ran in 2013 statewide, we won nearly 49% of the statewide vote in the primary, and also got endorsed by the Washington Post. So we're building on that. And frankly, as you know, I also was co-chair of Senator Mark Warner's re-election campaign in 2014. So I've traveled the state now 2 or 3 times over the course of the last several years, and we've just built on that network, built on that performance, and I believe that we will win, and we'll do some great things in that office.
Now, look, Justin, let's be candid with each other.
We always are, right?
The Virginia Democratic machine, which is pretty formidable. This isn't Debbie Wasserman Schultz, right? This is the the Dick Saslaw Godfather.
Yeah, Dick's
machine.
A good friend. Dick's a good friend. I like.
You know, when push comes to shove, they're going to gas up the machine, put the oil in it, and fire it up for one of their own.
Hopefully, to elect Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine first.
They're going to fire it up for Eileen, right? You know that. How are you going to withstand that? I mean, you're going to have to win this thing as an outsider.
Well, John, and you're a great analyst. You really are, and a great friend. But as you know, as I tell people, I've never run against anyone. I've always only run for something because I truly believe in the vision that we have and in fighting for Virginians, frankly, to make sure that they can have the same opportunities that I've had in my own life. That really is why I'm committed to public service. And you also know about my life story. We've talked about this a number of times. In fact, there's a great connection to Philadelphia. My maternal grandmother was born and raised in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, went to West Philadelphia High School, and her family, frankly, was an extraordinary family. Her brother, Eddie Bell, played for the Philadelphia Eagles. He went to Penn and was also an All-American at Penn. And so, I come from, an incredible family who's gotten incredible opportunities across the generations. And that really is why I'm in public life, because I want to make sure that every child, every family has the exact same opportunity. So I understand, there are politics involved, and I get that. But when I ran in 2013, a lot of people said you're going to lose by 30 points.
Yes.
And no one's going to support you, and it's going to be ugly, and we'll never hear from you again. But yet we won nearly.
That's what everybody said.
That's what everybody said.
Except me.
Except you. No, because you're a very smart man. Very smart man. But yet we won nearly 49% of the statewide vote.
Well, I thought you were going to win that night. I know you gave Mark Herring the scare of his life.
Well, Mark's a good friend as well.
He had another one after that, but. I tell my audience this. The reason I make these predictions is because I go out and about, and I went to a Democratic forum.
Right.
It's somewhere in Virginia Beach. I don't even know where it was. I just figured,
it was a great time. Yes.
Let me go check it out.
Right.
And you and Mark were there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the place was packed. I expected like 30
Very
people.
Excited,
there was like 150, and like 6 people were for Mark. And 140 came out for you.
He had more than that.
And I'm like, this guy's going to win this race.
Well, listen.
Because when you can generate that kind of enthusiasm in an AG primary against, the machine candidate, which he was, I thought this guy's got something going on. And then I started talking to people, and I was finding out that your rallies were off the charts.
Yeah, they were. And I got to tell you, John, they're like 10 times as great this go around than they were last time. I mean, because remember, I started, a lot of people didn't know who I was, and I got to meet a lot of people around the state, but we start off from a place where people statewide know not only who I am, but what I stand for, and the fact that I'm fighting for them. And John, you talked about this a little bit earlier. People really want a fighter. Right, people who really want somebody who's going to fight for them. They feel like they're not able to obtain the same opportunities that they could in the past. They can't send their kids to college. They can't buy and keep a home. They can't get access to capital to start and grow a small business, right? And so people want somebody who's going to fight for them, who's passionate about that. And John, as you know, I've been very fortunate in my life. I've gotten to be, a lawyer and have a wonderful practice. My wife is a dentist. We own our own small business, a dental practice. We have beautiful kids. We have a great, place in Fairfax County. But the passion of my life is making sure that more people who start where I started get to end up where we've ended up. And so that really is the story of the American dream. And John, I got to tell you, we may have different candidates we support from time to time, but you come from the same stock. You are somebody who believes in the American dream. You believe it's here, you believe it's alive, and you want to fight to make sure it's real for everybody. And that's my passion in life. That is why I've gotten into public service, and that's why I think, we're good friends, is because, you have the same fire in the belly to make sure that everybody understands that America is great and that opportunity exists for everybody. So that's why I'm in this race, because I want to make sure that, again, more folks who start where I started or, who started anywhere in the Commonwealth of Virginia, no matter their last name, where they were born, they get the same shot in life that we did. That's what I'm passionate about.
Well, I'd say what, and we're in a time right now in America where people are looking for politicians, if you will,
right.
Public servants to fight for them.
Right, that's right.
And, you look at what went down in the DNC with Debbie Wasserman Schultz and those emails and, Sanders, who was fighting for those that, and I'm a big Bernie fan, as you know, in a lot of areas. And he said the system was rigged. It was. I mean, you look at these emails and they're stunning. I mean, and so you feel if you're from outside the system, you just don't have a fair shot.
Right.
That's why I think you're going to be so successful in this campaign, because this is a mood where people are looking for fighters for them.
Right.
And it's also why I predicted today Joe Morrissey is going to get elected mayor at Richmond. I don't even think it's going to a second ballot. Same thing. You got the machine candidates with all the money going up against somebody that's been fighting for people for a long time. It's the trend is there. That's why I think you're going to be successful in this race.
Well, John, I appreciate it. And the other thing is, again, being in Philadelphia, I think you and I chatted yesterday. We saw each other yesterday. The first thing I did when I got here to Philly is, I thought about, obviously, my family, my grandparents. But I ran. I went running through the streets of Philly. I ran about 3.5 miles.
It's like Rocky.
I ran the Rocky Steps. I literally did. I won't tell you I was winded afterwards. But,
well, you look like you're in shape.
Well, you're very kind. And
I
you look
took a
great
cab.
I might do that today. That was a long run.
I'm going to go running one of these days, but it's going to be after the election. So, Justin, what do you think of the Tim Kaine choice and why?
I think the Tim Kaine choice was brilliant. As you know, Tim is a great friend of mine, and I think he will be a phenomenal, not only a running mate, but a great vice president. Tim is a brilliant public servant, as you know. He has an incredible background, went to Missouri, Harvard Law School, but he took time off from Harvard to go be a missionary in Honduras. And you really know that Tim's brain, as big as it is, his heart is even bigger. And I think America has fallen in love with Tim Kaine, and they will continue to do that over the course of the next several months. And I think he'll be a dynamite addition to this ticket, and I'm so proud of him. He has a wonderful family. His wife, Ann Holton, who you know very well.
And he's a Catholic.
And he's a Catholic. I'm actually Catholic as well, and my wife's Baptist.
So am I.
And so Tim is somebody who we can all be proud of. You notice, John, there was really no one who had a bad word to say about Tim Kaine on either side, right? Whether or not somebody had different politics or different choices, they all respected him. He's a man of integrity. And you know that Tim's in it for the right reasons. You know he's in this for public service. You know that he's in this to better the lives of other people, because that's what he's been from day one. And so I'm very, excited about Tim. We obviously have a great connection now, because we have someone from Virginia who has been will be nominated to be vice president. And so we're very honored to have Tim on this ticket. Mark Warner also is a great friend of mine. He's a wonderful man, another brilliant public servant. They've known each other, for 30 plus years. And so we in Virginia are very blessed with some very, smart, caring, thoughtful people. And I think Tim's going to do a spectacular job as vice president.
Look, there's no question he brings substance to the ticket. He is a man of great intellectual and policy depth.
Absolutely.
As senator, he has traveled all over the Middle East.
Yes, right.
And
that's right.
So he knows what's going on. And I think that's good for the American people, because
Absolutely.
I think the selection of Kaine is going to make this debate turn on policies and real issues and not personality, which I think helps Trump, right? Because if he can get off, because look, the Clinton people are going to spend $1 billion bashing him personally. You get back on the issues, I think he's in good shape. I know I had Ben Tribbett on. He didn't think it was going to help Clinton win Virginia. I don't really agree with that. I think the selection of Kaine really makes Virginia now for the Trump campaign a very difficult state to win.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, and again, I think that Hillary would have done very well in Virginia.
I think she was going to win the state. She's the favorite. Let's put
that's
it that
right.
way.
That's right. She's the favorite. But with Tim on the ticket, I think it's just
it
raised
makes
the
it.
level of
Yeah, I
excitement.
mean, if I would have given it +3
Yeah.
Clinton the other day, now
Yeah.
it's +5 or 6. I mean, I know that Trump's going to Roanoke today just to make that statement that he's not going to give up on the state.
right.
But
right.
what does help Trump with the Kaine pick is Tim Kaine is pro TPP for all these trade deals. He's an open borders guy. He's for another 100,000 Syrian refugees coming in. These are issues that go right into Trump's bailiwick. I think it's going to help Trump in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Michigan.
Well, I got to tell you, and there's a lot to be said about the political race at the presidential level, but I will, to the point about Tim Kaine, I think that, he is a phenomenal guy. He's incredibly thoughtful, and I think when you see Tim in these debates, people are going to be blown away at how thoughtful he is, how substantive he is, how he can explain policy in a way where it relates to people in their lives. And look, Tim's not afraid to go against the grain. I mean, about, his stance on, frankly, challenging the president about the authorization of war and making sure that he has the proper authority. And even though Tim has been very strong on foreign policy, he is someone, again, who is independent minded. He is incredibly thoughtful. And I think that when people see Tim around the country and in these debates, they're going to be tremendously impressed by him, his intellect, his heart, his spirit. And again, when they rolled out Tim as the vice presidential nominee, no one had a bad word to say about Tim Kaine. I mean, that is telling in today's politics in
There's
America.
nothing bad to say about him.
Yeah,
I mean,
which is that's a stunning
You heard
thing,
Tommy
right?
Norman's statement and my statement. I mean, I had Tim on my show many times.
Yeah,
He's a good
I've
guy.
heard Tim on your show. Yeah.
He's a good guy.
He's a great guy and a thoughtful guy. And John, you've had him on the show. You've always
many
treated him
times
with respect.
I've had him on probably 100 times.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's always been the same person.
He's
right?
the
always
same
been
guy.
Incredibly
Yeah.
thoughtful and respectful.
He's a good.
I got to tell you, John, he's a great role model in politics as well because he's somebody who approaches politics very thoughtfully. Bobby Scott is a great friend of mine. I feel like he's the same way. And there's so many other folks who, again, really understand that Tim Kaine is amazing, and I look forward to him being on the ticket.
We want to thank Justin Fairfax for being with us. More information, go
you,
to fairfax4lg.com, fairfax4lg.com. I'll be right back.
John, God bless you.